Hey everybody, it's Chris and Tally. Most of you know us. If you don't, thank you so much for taking time to tune in. We decided that we should make a little mid-build van tour.
Yeah, before we tear the whole thing
Before we tear the whole thing back apart and redo it.
Yeah, we had a great time this summer, fall, winter, using the van. And so we, had to have everything set up. We did some systems checks. And now that we know what's working, what's not working, it's time to jump back in, make the changes.
We thought, why not show you what we have so far and our thoughts for the future, and maybe it'll help somebody out.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so too. And if you think we're crazy because we're kind of doing it backwards, you're probably right. But what we really wanted to do was to just enjoy it while we build it. And this has allowed us to do so. So here we go. Welcome to Serenity, our 2022 Mercedes Sprinter 170 wheelbase. Rainy Oregon right now. So starting our little mid-build van tour from the seats, not from the outside. Haven't really done anything to the front. We are planning on doing the storage compartment. That's the main reason we went with the Sprinter, is so we have that extra space. Every square inch counts. We recently installed our swivel seat, which has been a game changer, especially since we don't have our bed made into a dining yet. And we have 2 large dogs and a puppy that we're going to be traveling with now. So absolutely love it. Behind the driver's seat, we keep our window covers. We were having a really hard time with our dogs jumping in our seats. Love them, but golden retriever hair does not come off easily, and they love putting their noses everywhere. So we just ended up taking the panel that came with the van and just kind of do a little clip onto the back, and that keeps them out of the front, which is really, really nice. Right here, we're going to have our closets. We're thinking in 2 doors, might have a shelf in it, might not, depending on what exactly it is that we're going to be storing it for. We decided to put the fridge behind the seat instead of the shower, which makes a lot of sense to some because the shower is going to come out a little bit more, because as we're cooking and moving around, we don't actually want to have to completely step out in order to open the fridge. And if we're hanging out outside, it's, a little easy grab for our beverages. So that's been nice. It's going to be just a drawer on the bottom. We were thinking about putting up a little bit higher, but this works really well since we did go with the pull-out drawer, which I absolutely love. I was a little hesitant at first, but I realized just how easy it is to grab everything from this length or from this height and love it. Instead of having to have the door that you open up and peeking in there, we can actually just pull everything out instead of having to kneel down and dive in, which is what happens with the other fridges. Right now we're just keeping our snacks on top, little garbage on top. We just have these little magnetic hooks all over in the meantime until we get everything else done in here. When we first started camping out in Serenity, we just had our camping totes still out here. So just really was looking forward to having a counter space. Had to go out back to get water. So we finally got our stove and our sink in. Our butcher block is acacia. It's still not finished. We oiled it up pretty well, but we're actually going to take it apart, sand it down, and do more of like a walnut finish, a light walnut, so it's a little bit more cool rather than warm colors. We were contemplating where we wanted the sink, where we wanted the stovetop, if we wanted induction. As you can see, we ended up going with an induction cooktop. We wanted it here next to the door. We definitely didn't want it underneath our storage, our cupboards, for steam purposes, cooking purposes. So it's just nice to air out, and it's really close to the fan that we have up the front too. Size of the sink was kind of hard to decide on because we didn't want a tiny sink. We wanted to expand our counter space, but we wanted to be able to wash our face in there, our hair if needed. So we did go with a fairly, what I feel like it's a fairly large sink. Love it though, have no regrets so far. It's really nice because it does come with the butcher block on top of it, and we did save the piece that we cut out from our acacia as well, just in case anything happens to this. We have a backup. We have our little extension hose. It doesn't stay up very well, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to get it to spring up. So we're thinking of like some weights. I don't know, we'll get creative with that. So have no regrets there. We were thinking of putting an extension to the butcher countertop right here, but I don't know if we're gonna need it once we have our little wet bar area back here. Gonna try to do without it because of the dogs coming in and out. So we'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, obviously, as you can see, nothing else is done. We have our hot water heater under the sink. We have part of our water tank sticking out right there because we do have 54 gallons of fresh water. We have a water tank over each well, thank you. And then right here, I believe is gonna be a little mini pull-out pantry. We're gonna have drawers on this side, and then as many drawers as possible, I think, instead of having doors that you open up. Drawers are really, we're thinking it's really the way to go. So right now we just have our little plastic bin in there where we keep our bathroom stuff, our clothes, kitchen, cooking materials right here, and then cleaning materials over there, which, by the way, I'm loving my little shark wand. I just want to share it. I'm a little OCD in having 2 large dogs and now a puppy in here. Really drives me crazy. So this thing seriously weighs like what? Like not even a pound, I feel like. And it's just so easy to grab and go. I use it all the time, keeping everything nice and clean, and it doesn't take up any space at all. So just wanted to throw that in there. It's like every step of the way you look forward to what comes next. When we had the camping totes, I really looked forward to having the counter space, and now that we have the counter space, I really looking forward to having the actual drawers and cupboards. So baby steps. It's all about having patience, and which I don't have.
Your strong suit.
It's not my strong suit. I'm learning a lot and just enjoying the time that we're actually getting out of it right now. I'm glad that we don't have to wait until it's done to use it.
So what are we gonna do on this side?
On the side? Which side? This side?
This side.
Did I miss anything over here?
Did you miss anything over here?
Chris is gonna talk about the logistics and
details.
All the details, because he's obviously the brains behind the operation. I'm just here to keep things clean. Right next to our bed is going to be our little dresser, little wet bar area. We'll have our espresso maker there. This is our control panel. Chris is going to explain to you more what this is all about. But as far as what I know so far is that this is the heater. This tells you everything that you need to know. And then this is the AC. That's all I need to know. I'm on a need to know only basis here. I really love this. He laser cut this. It's got the mountains and trees. This is where the adventure begins. And there's a spaceship here. If you know, you know. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything else. Just think, the name of our van is Serenity. If you know, you know. So that's gonna be the very last thing that we're gonna do though, because the dogs use this as their little turnaround space. So when they get more used to being in the van, then we'll put this in. Toilets. Yes, I know we don't have any privacy right now, but we do give each other privacy. We ended up going with the Nature's Head because we wanted something that was going to be easy to clean, and it was going to be something that could get wet, so we don't have to take it out of the shower, because this is going to be a full shower as well. Eventually, hopefully very soon, because I'm tired of kicking Chris out of the van whenever I need to use the bathroom.
I'm tired of getting kicked out of the van. And when I'm not kicked out, the eye contact's awkward.
Especially now that he got LASIK and he can see everything. It's like,
all the time.
No. So we don't really have, we're still looking at designs and what we want the inside to look. We do know that we want the self-cleaning door, obviously, and it is going to stick out a little bit further, but we should be able to make it work. We are purposefully leaving this little space between the toilet and the fridge, because that's going to be another little full-size floor-to-ceiling pull-out pantry. So I think with all that storage space, we will be pretty set. For those of you who don't know or haven't watched the other videos, we do have a Great Dane mix. She's about 110 pounds, and we have a smaller golden retriever who's still 65. We just rescued a puppy who's a black lab shepherd mix. I know, we're crazy. And they like to sleep on the bed with us. So we did try to keep a plan that would allow us to have the biggest bed possible. And we have a 6-inch memory foam mattress right now. What we're gonna end up doing is we are gonna end up cutting it, building it into cushions, and since we do need an office space, we will end up having the dinette that converts into a bed. Yes, I know it's a lot of work to make it every single day, but honestly, I don't mind that. I make the bed every day. I have to make the bed every day, so it's just part of it. And it doesn't take very long from other van builds that I have seen. It's just kind of like the, if you're feeling lazy kind of day, do you really want to make your bed? I am 5'7" and Chris is 5'11", 6 foot on a good day, or at least that's what it said on his Tinder profile. But we do, I mean, we fit here really comfortably. Like I said, 2 dogs plus us. We do have to Tetris it out sometimes, but we just make sure that we get the bed first, we choose our spots first, and then we let the dogs up on here with us. So it's been working out. Not too bad. It did take us a while to get used to the mattress, but now I sleep really, really well. I don't know what we're gonna do when we have the storage above the seats.
Yeah. Everybody talks about how like, oh, we put the compartment up here and we never hit our heads. I'm like, I've hit my head here on this little dome thing many times just getting into the seat. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, geez. So I guess we'll start since we're in the front, we will start with the heater. You can't see it because it's under the seat, but we're not breaking any new ground here. We have the S-Bar S2 D2L. There'll probably be a little caption at the bottom when we correct that name later.
Probably not.
Maybe. Anyway, it works fantastic. We have it plumbed straight into the tank. We've used it in weather down to 21 degrees so far, and we have been plenty warm and toasty. Nothing but good things to say about it. We do have 2 max fans. Hindsight, that might not have been necessary because we do have the air conditioner, but we'll go with the 2 max fans for now. We did it so we can maximize the ventilation through the van. With 5 of us now in here, us and the 3 dogs, we create a lot of body heat, a lot of condensation. The fans are going to help with that. We also having the fans at both sides of the van, we can deal with cooking steam. We get really nice cross breeze if we open the window. Easier said than done. It's a little stiff, but they don't rattle. So if we're cooking, we don't have to worry about too much condensation in the van. We can vent through here, out through the top. From there, I guess we go to the fridge. You already brought up that it's a drawer style fridge. One of the things that I like about it, and one of the reasons why we picked it, you touched on it, is that you don't have to rummage into the back of a fridge. The back of the fridge comes to you. I didn't realize how important that would be until we started actually going on big road trips, but it is absolutely awesome. A little bit of a downside with the dogs, it does get scratched and smudged, and it's the first thing you see when you come into the van. So it looks like this today, it won't tomorrow. It's just the way it is. We did go with a 2-burner induction stovetop for our build. We do have 1140 amp hours of battery, so we felt that this would be safe. We've used it in our last trip, and the energy consumption is actually pretty minimal. It heats up very quick. It works excellent. Probably the next step for us, I'm going to try to get this inset into the countertop so it's a flush surface. That'll be quite the process because never done that before, but we're going to try to make it as aesthetically
pleasing.
Yeah, that's possible.
That's awesome. Well, you've also never built a conversion van before, so I think you're doing okay.
I hope I'm doing okay. Yeah, yeah. It's a process. We did go with the butcher block. It is a acacia, as you had mentioned. It is not as heavy as I first thought it would be. So there were some concerns about the weight of the butcher block, but it is pretty lightweight in general. One of the things we are going to address is the extreme temperature of the hot water. It's a small tank. It's only 4 gallons. So we set it up on high so that as it mixes with the cool water, it goes as far as possible. We don't want anybody to get scalded, so we are going to put a valve on there to keep that from happening, but allow us to keep the water heated to the high temperature. That's one of the things that's coming. This was very quickly put together with the water heater. One day we're just getting ready to go on a trip and be like, you know what? It'd be nice to have hot water. So we did it. Made it happen in one day.
Because Chris cried when he tried taking a shower with the cold water.
Yeah, and that was in the summer. That was in the summer. So could you imagine taking a shower in the cold water out the back of the van in the middle of winter? I'm sure a lot of people are watching this like,
amateur.
Yeah. Are you a real van lifer?
No, not yet.
No, I'm used to comfort, and that's a lot of what we're doing is based on keeping the creature comforts of home. Because we are going to try to do this full time, we want to compromise minimally. We want it to be comfortable. We want it to be happy in here. This is our home going forward. So the water heater right now is connected directly to the hot water valve on the faucet. It's the only place that it goes. So it is instant hot water. The hot water heater does use quite a bit of power, but what we're doing is when we're driving, we have 60 amps of charging to the battery bank. We turn on the water heater. In 20 minutes it's hot, we can turn it off, continue to charge the battery bank, preserve the hot water. It stays hot for a day or so. So that works out very well for us. So we did install a WeBoost. We do have Starlink. It's not out here. The connectors are, but it is not. We installed the WeBoost because we find that we often end up in the forest or the trees, and getting a solid Starlink signal is difficult. I mean, I've read mixed reviews on the WeBoost. I really like it. It seems to be working exactly how it should. One of the things that we've done is to insulate our windows at night. We have the foil lined window covers. They do inhibit the cellular signal, and the WeBoost compensates for that. So we can stream Netflix, surf the internet, find our next location. It is mounted on the top of the van. We will show that later.
When it's not pouring rain.
When it's not pouring rain.
We usually right now we're keeping the Starlink underneath the mattress in that little area right behind Chris's legs, right there.
You're not gonna see anything here, but this cavity underneath the drawer, this is the height of our entire battery compartment. We have 16 280 amp 3.3 volt cells laying on their sides, connected with 4. You probably just watched me lose my complete track of thought, but what we have under here is 16 280 amp hour cells, 3.3 volts in a 12 volt configuration, running on 420 amp overkill solar BMSs. Those all connect to a Victron distributor for our negative and positive connections to the inverter, as well as the fuse panels and the whatnot. This is our control panel, our control center. It is temporary. We will have cabinet / shower. We are using Victron Energy, basically an electrical system. This is Touch 50, haha. All right, so this is the Victron Touch 50 interface. This is kind of the brains of our operation. We have an 1140 amp hour battery bank, a 3000 watt Victron inverter, 230 amp DC to DC Orion chargers, MPPT solar charge controller, and water tank level sensors. Everything is controlled and viewed from this little panel here. I'm sure that anybody who's done or researched van life is aware of this, but it is an excellent panel. It shows us the status of our water, shows us the status of our wastewater, Shows our system as it is here. We're actually charging at 23 watts, and it is overcast and rainy right now.
So we didn't need all those solar panels.
Oh, we absolutely need solar panels. Because this is actually the lowest our battery has ever been. It's 66%.
Someday I will have a rooftop deck.
Yeah, when we get our own vans and go to, after we get another puppy, it's going to have to happen. We do have an undermount air conditioning system, which is pretty rare as far as, it's getting more common, but it's pretty rare as far as van conversions go. We did get ours from Undermount AC. It is they say it's a 20,000 BTU unit. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but 20,000 BTUs is a lot. This would be a refrigeration truck basically at that point. It does work in our testing. We have random ducting running all over the van. This is all for testing purposes, trying to find the best locations and routing. This is important for us because of the dogs. You know, we want to experience all there is. If you watched our prior videos, we've discussed this before. But now we have another dog, a black dog with a lot of fur. And so having a comfortable van to be in while we are grocery shopping or walking down Main Street, we want to make sure that they are comfortable and safe at all times. They're our #1 priority. We also have our S-Bar heat controller.
I always mess it up. I'm not allowed to touch it.
So far it's been fantastic. You set the temperature. We usually just run, it has timers, but we run it on infinite mode. So I don't know how long that lasts, if it lasts until it runs out of gas or if there's any checks or balances in the system. But so far for us, we turn it off before we start driving. We don't typically stay in places for more than 1 or 2 days at a time. So it works just as we expected. And yeah, so far I guess that's the general gist of the mid-build van video.
You can do it. We can do it. We've been camping. We've been enjoying it.
And everything works. And now it's
out. Do it all over again.
Now it's ironing out the details. The nuances. You know, making things pretty. Final routing of cables and wiring.
Small details. Getting creative about what we're going to do with the little spaces. We have a big picture, but now we have to think of what's going to make our van unique.
And where's the best place for everything?
Exactly.
Nothing is finalized.
Especially with 3 dogs.
Right now, our light switch is in the back corner of the bed, hanging off of the tubing back
And the
here.
puppy found it, and she loves turning the lights on and off.
So. I don't even know if these lights are going to be official. There's other light options. We might move these underneath the cabinets. And then have some strip lights on the top.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
I think that would be nice. Some other things that we did not consider that we're going to change as we go. It is well known in home construction that if you are going to put in wood floors, that you do not put them under cabinets or laminate floors and whatnot. We did put ours under cabinets. We put the whole floor in, covered everything right at the beginning. And once we started putting the cabinets on, we started to notice gaps developing between the panels. So we will be doing some clearancing of floors around cabinets, mounting points.
Like that one right there.
Yep.
And it drives me crazy.
It drives me crazy because you put in all the work and it doesn't. That goes back to one of our big regrets is that we reused the stock van floor for this. It was too thin, it's flexible, and that's contributing to what we're seeing here. We do have a Alavan's rear tire mounting ladder, which we installed. I love it. It's lightweight, allows us to get up and put the wee boost antenna up. We do have a Fiamma ADS awning that's been installed. Also, we haven't really covered that much, but we love that. And then what's next?
The most important thing. Ready for it?
By the magic of Hollywood.
Meet Rayla! She's already like 4 times the size of when we got her and her sister. You'll have to watch our winter break video to hear the whole story. But she is our new van dog. She's going to be raised as a van dog. She's gonna live her best life ever.
Look at those paws. They're so
I
big.
know. Oh my gosh, she's gotten so big. I can't even clip her nails anymore with our normal nail clippers. So I have to use the dog ones now. A little too smart for her own good.
She is a beauty.
She's so pretty.
Hi, sweetie.
She's looking more like a dog now. She's already starting to lose her puppy face. Say hi, hello, hello. You're like, stop manhandling me, woman. And this is obviously the most important thing. This is why we're doing it all. We're doing it all for our dogs. And, you know.
Getting more dogs.
Getting more dogs.
Poor decisions.
Poor decisions. Or the best decisions ever.
Poor decisions. She's like, she looks so concerned. What are you guys doing? Why isn't Daddy giving me kisses? Oh, pretending we're a happy couple.
Thank you for watching our little mid-build van tour. Now that we're gonna go and take everything apart and redo it all. So stay with us if you wanna see what comes next. We say this in every video, we're not content creators. We just want to share our journey with our friends and family, hopefully make more friends along the way.
And pick up some new skills along the way.
And pick up a lot of new skills along the way.
All the new skills.
If you want to hear more about our story and also other people's stories, we just did a podcast with the Wonder Supply Co. It is called the Ones Who Wonder podcast. Lots of questions. We just did it with Ethan. He's awesome. It was really nice just chatting with someone about it. And yeah. I know he does podcasts with people who are just beginning these journeys as well and trying to get everybody out there and just enjoying what's around us instead of being stuck indoors on our phones all the time, spending money on things that are just... Anyway, I'm getting a...
If you wonder how the podcast went, it very much went like this.
I talk a lot.
Ask a question, then 5 minutes later, we're trying to figure it out.
I have the mind of a 4th grader.
So yeah, it's the Wanderer Supply Company, the Ones Who Wander podcast. Check it out. Ethan was awesome. Yeah.
Yep. Until next time. Wait, what did I just do?
That's peace.